about to get started here. Everybody get ready. We'll be talking about the hardpoint tournament that's coming up in July. What's up, Sean? All right, let's get into it. All right. So, I know it's going to take a little bit for some people to get in to the stream, but this is going to be recorded, not only here live on our Twitch channel, but also it's going to be over on our YouTube channel. So if anyone who misses it, you can catch it over there. This is just going to be a quick review of the rules for the hardpoint tournament that's going to be coming up. It's got more rules than the free-for-all tournament had, simply because it does include teams, and there are certain things that we have to review in relation to some changes from the free-for-all tournament to the hardpoint tournament. That's very minimal. It was mostly server swapping, but we'll get into that. Really quick before I do, everybody who in the community participated in voting for the date on which we would in which this event would commence, I appreciate you doing so. It was helpful. It could be difficult to try to set a date for that accommodates everybody's schedules, especially from the North American region and the European region. Hey, disgruntled. So it could be rather difficult, so your input was greatly appreciated, and unfortunately it's not going to accommodate everybody, but that's the nature of these kinds of events. We did get a pretty good outpouring of support from players. A bunch of people got together, joined teams to make up 8 teams in total, so that will be 4 matches in the very first round, which is really exciting. I'm only going to be able to cover one at a time. Of course, I'm going to be in the spectator cam as I was in the free-for-all. So hopefully you guys enjoy that showing. I did do a little bit of a coverage of a scrimmage last night on my personal channel, so if you want to see what that might be like, or if you want to check out what the free-for-all tournament looked like, we still have that saved over on our YouTube channel, I'm pretty certain. If not, at least you have it on my channel, a little bit of a review of the scrimmage. Before I get into the details and stuff of the rules and whatnot, just a reminder, the start date is the, what was it, the 19th of July? Let me just double check. Sorry, I've kind of been out of it. Yeah, July 19th at noon. It's a Saturday. So people still have about a month. But before we review everything and talk about the teams, yeah, we'll have that'll be nice. Hopefully, people can get acclimated to that. A big shout out to the affiliate programs that we are part of. Dubby in particular. I just actually got myself 3 new Dubby blends. This one was, I don't know who this content creator is. His name's Oda. But it's really, really good. Currently, it's a limited edition. It's only out for a short period of time, but it's really good if you're looking for something sweet and a bit tart. That's good. This one's a strawberry, watermelon, and coconut version. It's called Tiger's Blood. That one's good. And this one was the most unique one. You actually have to mix it with milk. It's a s'mores, campfire s'mores flavor. I put that in with my coffee. It's perfect. Love it. If you guys want to get some Dubby, I have saved every single one of my jugs, and I could give you a short review on all of them, but I won't because that would take too much time. But go to dubby.gg, and you can use AHC at checkout to get some money off. I have enjoyed pretty much every flavor, even the pina colada one, even though I'm not a huge fan of pina coladas. Gaming Synergy, of course, we're looking at starting ALVO World League Season 4. Right now, we're just garnering interest, seeing who is actually interested in participating in a 4th season. We have 1 team, maybe 2 teams that are interested. I know that there are some teams from the past, from previous seasons, who are looking to possibly split up. At least 2, maybe 3 teams are looking to split up and start their own thing. So if you are interested, start getting your friends together and create a team, and go to gamingsynergy.co.uk. That's gaming-synergy.co.uk. Create an account. The ALVO World League Season 4 page is accessible. Just be sure to create your own account, create the team, and then request participation in the event. And also JD's House of Trophies. JD's House of Trophies has been very helpful for us over all the seasons. They have made trophies for us, and the reason why we want to shout them out is because they have done us a solid by reducing the amount that it costs to actually purchase those, and that is nice on my wallet, but still gives you incredible quality products. So JD's House of Trophies, amazing. Go to their website. They do more than just trophies. They do a whole lot of different things, but the quality is 100% there, guaranteed. The packaging is nice, and they are guaranteed to get you your purchase on time. And if you are struggling tracking your purchase, which I've never had an issue with that, but sometimes things happen, they're very easy to talk to, and they are very quick to respond. So big shout outs to them as well. All right, that being said, why don't we get into the rules? Then we're going to go over the teams and the composition of the teams. You can find this in the ALVO World League Discord. If you have given yourself the role of community events, then you should have access to this, to see this. If you haven't, or if you're not as familiar with Discord and how to change or give yourself a new role, just reach out to me, the Wolf Craze, and I can help you out. I can set you up. But be sure to join, especially if you want to participate in these future events. All right, so hardpoint rules. I'm going to zoom in for you guys. Whoops, wrong button. So you can see a little bit better, but you can find this again on the Discord. Hold on. Oh, it doesn't. Okay, well, it doesn't want me to. It doesn't want to go over any further. That's okay. You can see it for the most part. I'm going to be reading it anyway. As before with the other tournaments, the registration cost is going to be nothing. It's not going to cost you anything. The only thing that's really been the teams have only been required to pay for so far is the league, and that's just to help accommodate some of the costs and expenditures that go into running it. But these tournaments are going to be free. There's still going to be a reward at the end. For the free-for-all tournament, some people have said, don't worry about the reward. We just appreciate playing. It's up to you. It's your reward. If you don't want to take it, that's fine. If you do want to take it, that's fine. But it's there, so the reward is available. And it's a monetary reward. There is no trophy. There's nothing else at this point until these tournaments become more of a regular thing, and I might be able to figure out if there's something else that I can get the winners. That being said, admittance restriction, there is none. Any player of any level and or skill can participate. It's strongly encouraged that anyone under 16, that no one under 16 really sign up, and this is just to account for the game rating and conversations likely to take place in the lobby. You are playing with adults. No one at Amateur Hour Commentary or anyone participating or managing the ALVO World League are there to protect children from insults sustained during the conversations. It's entirely up to you. If you choose to participate, you are entering at your own risk. And if you do not have parental consent to participate in something and you feel offended or get offended, well, that's out of our hands. That's up to you. And that's up to your parents to figure out. That's for anyone under the age of 16. Should someone not of appropriate age play the game, it is on that person to accept to an extent and tolerate being in the presence of mature 18-plus players. That's just the nature of the game. Okay. Player behavior conduct, same as free-for-all, same for the ALVO World League. Just be nice, all right? It is supposed to be a fun game. No one is here to insult you. No one's here to insult your ego. If you have an ego, check it at the door. We are not going to use racial, religious, or discriminatory slang that is deemed offensive, and this is by societal standards, not individual standards. So if there's anything that society deems inappropriate, avoid it. You all know what it is. I don't have to harp on it. Map bans. So at present, all maps are playable within the game mode Hardpoint are free to use throughout the competition. It is encouraged that maps chosen are of the medium to small variety, simply because the teams are only of 3. So bigger maps like Desert would be a little bit harder to play on. Not that you can't pick them, but it is what it is. However, this does not mean that a map such as Desert cannot be a choice during competition. Certainly it can be prior to competition, and I'll be doing this for everybody. I'll be doing it for each of the rounds. 3 maps for each round will be randomly chosen. Of these 3 maps, each team will ban one of the remaining map. Will ban one, with the remaining map being the map choice of that round. Now, if both teams decide to ban the same map, of the remaining 2 teams will play the map which name is closest to the start of the English alphabet. So Retreat, for example, Retreat and Desert are the 2 remaining. Desert would be selected simply because, well, it starts with the letter D, and that's closest to A in the alphabet. Make sense? Good. If it doesn't, I don't know how to explain it. Mod maps are not allowed, simply because these are not accessible to everybody yet, and we do have PlayStation players, and not everybody seems to have access to the mod maps through PlayStation. So those are not going to be in the pool. Basic rules of play, as outlined in league play, any misuse of exploits, including but not limited to map breaks, glitches, and unintended functionality of a player model, weapon, or environmental structure will result in a warning. So if you do this and you didn't mean to, you're going to be reminded, avoid that at all costs. And any additional warning will result in a player's removal from the event. So there is no tolerance for this. I don't think that's fair. And this can include planting, for example, on factory, like in Search and Destroy. Not that you have to worry about that here because it's a hardpoint tournament, but case in point, on factory, if you plant on the opposite side of the wall at the box room, that is unintended. And that is outside the intended area of planting. So that would be considered an exploit. Please don't do that. Obviously, you won't have to worry about that with Hardpoint. Play fair or be removed. The event of lag or netcode error is not a condition defined within exploits or intentional misuse. In other words, those things are out of your control. You don't have to worry about it. Connectivity at some point is not within a player's control when it occurs on the server side. Please be sure to restart your internet before participating in an event. This goes for me as well. It's just a general rule that I encourage. Round per session, each match will consist of a best of 3. A team must win twice, if that makes sense. Disgruntled taught me to plant illegal in factory. That's okay. Everybody does it in Publix. Just in League, it's different. The winning team will proceed forward in the bracket, and losing team will be eliminated from the tournament. It's a single elimination tournament, so you have one chance to move forward, and if you don't, you fail. The best of 3 will take place on the same map so as to reduce possible uncertainty in identifying the winner. I hope everybody can understand that. If you play Hardpoint in a best of 3 on Retreat, it makes sense to not change the map so that you get an even playing field. So if one team is better on Retreat and the other team is better on Dojo, for example, well, you'll have an opportunity to play Dojo if it's in the pool, if not. But regardless, you can't switch it because it just doesn't make sense. You want it to be as clear and concise of a winner as possible, and you can't determine that if you switch maps in a best of 3. It just doesn't make sense. So teams will compete until all are eliminated and one team remains. The server swapping, this was a concern about free-for-all, but it was really near impossible to do that in free-for-all without extending it beyond what we had already covered. What I mean by that is we had so many players. We had 2 lobbies essentially, and having them play essentially the best of 3 rounds or whatever, 2 rounds, and then accumulating their points. It just wasn't possible. That was too much. That would have been too much work for me. That would have been too much work for the players. So the free for all, it was a single elimination. It was all U.S. server or NA server. So apologies about that to anyone that felt that was a bit unfair. I just don't know any other way to do it. Maybe next one I just run a EU server tournament. I don't know. But here it's a little bit easier. We can actually swap the servers since it's a best of 3. So each round in the match will alternate between NA and EU servers, starting with NA to accommodate any EU participants. So we'll always start with the NA server, and then we'll switch to the EU for the second round. Second match, I should say. Well, no, second round in that match. And should there be no EU participants in a match, and this also goes no NA participants in the match, or EU participants or NA participants make up less than half the players in the lobby will remain on the NA server. So if there's 6 and there's only 2 EU players, it'll stick with the NA side. Or vice versa, if there are only 2 NA players in a lobby of EU, you'll stick with the EU servers. Team composition is 3 players rather than a standard 5. Teams are allowed up to 2 substitutes. In the event a player or 2 cannot participate on account of any number of reasons, it is strongly encouraged that all who choose to participate schedule accordingly. I think for the most part everybody understood this. It was just the dates that were difficult. So if you want substitutes, find those substitutes, get them in there, and that way your friends can still play. Substitution standards. Substitutions during competition is allowed only between match rounds. Substitutions while a game is already underway will result in an immediate forfeiture of that round. In other words, if you are performing badly and you want to switch out with a substitute, don't do it in the middle of the game. You have to wait till the next round in that match. A second attempt to substitute mid-round will result in a match forfeiture and removal from the event. Any exception is if a player drops completely and cannot return to the lobby, a substitute can be made. Do not abuse this privilege, please. So if you drop out and there is reasonable effort to try to get back in, and you just can't, and you tell your sub to hop in, that's perfectly fine. However, please be honest about that. I won't be able to police that, but, please conduct yourself with a degree of honor and respect for everybody else. Earnings distribution is going to be the same as before, as in the free-for-all. The top 3 players in the finals, the third place team will get 20% of the total prize pool. The second place will get 40% of the remaining prize pool, and first will get the remainder of whatever's in the prize pool. This seems to work out fairly well. If you have any questions about that, about those rules, please don't hesitate to ask, but I try to make these as fair and as accommodating as possible. If you have suggestions, I am not changing the rules right now, but if you have any suggestions for the future, please don't hesitate to share with me. All right, so looking at the teams that have registered, you can see the earliest one was 10 days ago. So we'll take a peek at these. So on Jaywat's team, we have Jaywat, Apoller, and Dung Beetle. Good squad there. Can't wait to watch them in action. We got Fergie had posted Disgruntled herself, Fergie, and Shell, also known as Say My Name. I don't know why she changed it, but hey, she did. And she wants us to say her name, but we don't even know what her name is, so we can't really say her name. It's kind of strange. We're going over the teams right now, NGR. Then we have Croyan, Mr. Henry, and O'Doyle. First, I'd like to say it's great to see O'Doyle back in the swing of things. I love to see Mr. Henry in there. Great player. If you haven't come across him in Publix, really cool guy. Glad to see he's kind of in the competitive circuit. And if you don't know Croyan, you don't play ALVO. NGR has posted Kermit the Ninja, Div, and NGR. I mean, that's just a crazy team right there. I can see them going pretty far, so beware. Friend at Court has said Mooger, Nick, and Friend at Court making up another team. Good team. Good people right there. Very fun to have in lobby. I don't know how well they're going to perform together. Individually, they're all pretty good. But for what it's worth, they're a blast. Really good people right there. So I'm excited to I'm excited to hear some of the commentary in those lobbies. We have team roster German Grandpas 1 and 2. For the first team, it's EOD Meister, GAM, and Lukey. I think EOD said he might not be able to participate on the 19th, so we might have a different person stand in for him, but we'll see. The second German Grandpa's team is Snug, Bamblebee, and Andy. And the last one, which was posted 2 hours ago, but I kind of knew about already, Z-Shid, Justin Johnson, and Momo. I'm so happy to see Momo in there. I know, Z haven't been my teammate for the past 3 seasons. I'm glad that she's in there, and Justin. I mean, we all know Justin. He's entertaining, and he's a really good shot too. But I haven't seen him on in a while, so hopefully he hasn't gotten too rusty. All right, before we move on, I want to look at some of the comments in chat because I haven't really been paying attention. Someone was talking about pickles or a pencil, one being long or small. I don't know. You guys are weird. Oh God, is this all friendly, family friendly? You'll feel the tickle pickle. Jesus Christ, what are you guys talking about? All right, who's in what teams? Okay, we went over that. Everyone knows my name, so it's understood. I mean, yeah, maybe Shell. For kids and people to sing the song. All right, C. Diff. Yep, people speak of you often. You can't spell. Okay. It's only one F. We haven't chosen a name yet. I don't think Future League will not be Death Squad. Okay, fair enough. Although Death Squad name is well known, so. I listen. I don't hate on the name. I'm just picking on you. Knew it was you by how you play. You can kind of tell how certain people by the style of gameplay. It's very true. It says the one that went to Almighty. I mean, to be fair, Almighty was always my name. If you actually look back, if you go on my YouTube channel and you go back to from the very first video of ALVO, it was launch day of ALVO. My original name was Almighty Onimusha. It's just pretty much everybody now knows me as the Wolf Craze because I was on the quest for a while. But in actuality, most everybody knew me as Almighty Onimusha for a long time. So, oh, God. Here's the shit stirring. Momo is the one to worry about. I mean... It's fun size. Yeah, I'm starting to get some nicknames. Okay. Y'all are funny. As before, so like I still have to run this to see if this worked out, but we're going to be using the challenge.com. Sorry, not .gg. I'm going to be using this as it is a simple way of monitoring the progression. And this is more accommodating to teams than it is free-for-all, so I'll be updating everyone accordingly. It will be here in the announcements section of the ALVO World League Discord. I'll be taking posts or pictures. I think I did that before. I could be wrong. Maybe it wasn't there. I perhaps put it in something else for the free-for-all, but I'll be putting them in the announcements there, the updates. But we're hoping to complete this in a day. That's the expectation, similar to the free-for-all. I will be live for the entire event, or at least I hope to be live for the entire event unless something really bad happens. Hopefully nothing like that happens. But if you are curious and you want to know the positions of certain teams on the bracket, just pop in the chat and let me know. And I can show that off live, of course. If there are any questions, or if this wasn't spelling everything out for you, that's okay. Just reach out to me in Discord. I am usually reachable as long as you ping me. Don't worry, I don't mind being pinged. And before I close this out, I also want to just say, like, we listen and don't judge. Well, you'd be surprised. I want to point out real quick, not privacy, where is it? Server settings. Let me go to members. I just want to point out how awesome it is. Is it going to show here? We have 216 members in the ALVO World League Discord. I am humbled by the number of people in this Discord, whether they are active speakers or not. The fact that all of you have joined the Discord. I never thought I would be running a Discord that would have this many people, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for a competitive Discord, a competitive league for a game that isn't super well known, to have 216 members is awesome. So if there are more people that you think would be interested, and they're like, man, I just don't like Discord too much, it's confusing for them, invite them anyway and get them in here so that they don't miss out on certain things. I think this is awesome, seeing 216 people from the ALVO community who have joined the Discord and are showing at least some interest in what's going on. So appreciate that a lot. All right, I don't have anything else. Again, if you guys are wanting to watch this back, or you missed some of it, you can go to our YouTube channel. Just type in Amateur Hour Commentary. You should be able to find it. It'll be saved there. And I will be coming back. I don't know if it'll be next weekend or the weekend after, but it'll be before the competition starts to talk about the matchups. We're gonna do a live a draw for who's going up against who. As we did for the free-for-all. So be sure to tune in. If you're not followed or subscribed on either of the channels, please consider doing so. And not only are we going to be reviewing that, but we're going to be going over the map bans as well. I wanted to keep that separate because that is going to be more immediately relevant to the event itself as opposed to the rules. So that'll be a separate thing, and you guys could always look at that as well. And it'll be good for me because I have a tendency to forget a lot of the things that I say. I just kind of spew them. But if I may have missed it real quick. How do we determine who hosts the lobby and also the servers picked first? So the server that's picked first is going to be the NA server every single time, and then the next round in that match, in the best of 3, will go to the EU server. So always start with NA and then go to EU for second. And if the third one is necessary, you of course would go back to NA. Lobby hosts, it doesn't really matter. Any coverage that I'm going to be doing, I'll be the host of the lobby. As long as whoever gotta go will rewatch. Okay, NGR. Any team that's going up against another one will just have to speak with whoever is playing on that team and come to an agreement who will host a lobby, because lobby host doesn't really matter. It doesn't affect the game. It's just whoever's setting it up. So that being said, for now, if there are no more questions, I'm gonna head out. I will see you guys later, and best of luck to all the teams. If there are more that sign up, they'll be added as well. So they got probably another week to sign up. So continue to encourage people out in the field and let them know about these events. Hey, Chrome. Actually, pretty much the whole thing, but it's going to be up on the YouTube channel. So if you want to go check it out, if actually you're curious, I can actually... Hold on. Whoops. I don't know how to spell. If you're interested, head there. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and follow us so that you can go back and watch this. Okay? But that's going to be it for me. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Best of luck out there, and we'll see you in the next stream when we talk about the matchups and the bans.